Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Halidom Hotspot, your one-stop shop for all things Dragalia Lost. My name is Orthodox, your host, and joining me we have GLACE.
Hiya!
GLACE, thanks for joining us, and our special guest, Victor Hunter, the voice of Euden.
Hi, how's it going?
We're good to have you here. We're doing great. You know, we just got the news for version 2.0 of Dragalia Lost.
Yeah.
So it's definitely been really exciting, really overwhelming. Lots of news. It feels like an entirely brand new game. So
The past 12 or so hours or whatever have just been incredibly chaotic, just trying to figure out everything.
yes, yeah.
It's been pretty wild. I mean, overall impressions seem to be positive, so I'm glad that people like the changes for the most part. I think it's really exciting.
Yeah, definitely. And as far as any confusions go, we will definitely be putting out more explanations in regards to these changes. So for those listening, definitely stay tuned as we will be diving in and kind of dissecting the update and figuring out the best way to go about where to use your resources and things like that in the coming days. So in the meantime, while we have you here, Victor, we've actually done a community poll over on the Discord, as we had done for Devin. And we've got quite a few questions, so we'd love to jump right into them if you're ready.
Awesome. I would love to. Yeah.
All right. So this time we've broken up the questions into a few categories. The first category being about Dragalia Lost.
I've heard of it.
Yes, it is a very popular title. I'm glad to hear that you've heard of it.
It looks fun. It looks very cute.
It is, and they just did, a little plug, a update on the graphics. The cell shading has really.
I love it.
It's gorgeous.
I love it so much.
I think where it really shines the most is on the menu screen, where you can see all the characters and the weapon skins.
Yeah.
A lot of the void weapons, for example, they kind of look chunky and in the old version of the game. And I was always drawn more to using like the falchion as my weapon skin. But now there's so many good picks. So it's definitely pretty exciting. Yes, Glace.
I usually just go by color.
Yeah.
or I intentionally go out of my way to do something that does not match. I gotta say, probably half of my units have like the mega series of weapons from the collab.
I was just gonna say that my go-to is I didn't get all of them, but I have a handful of the Mega Man collab weapons, and they're pretty great. A little goofy, but
definitely.
That's the charm of them.
Yeah, sometimes you want that levity when you're
definitely
mowing down armies.
It's really interesting, and this is a side note. So we are pulling a little tangent from the questions, but mentioning these weapons, the mega weapons, they exist in the miscellaneous tab that you can upgrade them, but the Monster Hunter weapons are only skins now.
Oh,
I found that weird, yeah.
So I wonder if that may just be a condition of contract, right? For assets, if in fact down the road Cygames decides to work with Capcom again for Monster Hunter, as they do have some new titles coming out for the Switch. We'll be able to see, but for the meantime, if you played in the Monster Hunter event, those weapons have been relegated purely to skins or cosmetics.
Huh.
So, just an interesting thing that I found and wanted to share. So
yeah,
I guess this kind of covers our first question somewhat, but we definitely know you've heard of Dragalia Lost. And so we have a question from Dark Dust 55 that asks, do you like Dragalia Lost? And do you play Dragalia Lost?
love the darn thing. I love all these little guys and their little swords, and they just go around and they fight each other. And man, let me tell you, video games when I was growing up, boy, all we had was this Pac-Man fellow. No, I do. I like it a lot. I'm a pretty casual player. I would say I'm probably even a little more casual than Devin. Perhaps he plays pretty regularly, it seems. I kind of go in short bursts if there's an event that I want to make sure I get to participate in.
Oh, definitely.
But yeah, I'm also not caught up on the main story quests. I need to fix that. I'm on chapter 12 or 13 right now.
Yeah. Ooh,
so
yeah.
I know things are gonna get wild really soon. I just need to buckle down and wrap that up. But yeah, I like it a lot. I remember before it even came out, I remember the first trailers, and I don't remember what site it was on, but I remember it being sort of billed as like a top-down action RPG for mobile from Nintendo that is, you know, a little Secret of Mana-esque in its like beginning combat. And
Yes,
like,
which is a great game, by the way.
Oh, absolutely, one of the best.
I've heard great things about it.
Yeah, it's a classic. So I mean, obviously, Dragalia gets a lot more in depth than Secret of Mana does. But you know, I was always, some of my first video games growing up were stuff like Secret of Mana and you know, A Link to the Past and top-down action games where you get to be a sword boy and go save the world. So this was absolutely right up my alley.
Yeah, absolutely. The action elements really give the player a lot of creative freedom.
Totally.
And that's one of the things that really set DL apart for me, especially when I was looking at it, because you know, when you peruse through the titles of gacha games or mobile RPGs, you often find that it's turn-based.
Yeah.
You know, and I love turn-based games. You know, don't get me wrong. I love turn-based
too.
games. But seeing an action RPG, you know, from Nintendo.
And an action RPG that plays well on a touchscreen,
Yes,
is something else. Like that they do such a good job. Like, yeah, every once in a while I drop an input or something. I end up, you know, rolling the wrong way or something like that. But for the most part, the game is really, really good at factoring in that you're on a touch screen, the controls are responsive and work well, and I think that was kind of ambitious, and the fact that they kind of nailed that mechanically has definitely helped it exist for as long as it has.
Oh, absolutely. And the coolest part, right, is every update that they've done to the game has increased the complexity or the customization options that the player is given. And for me, that's really exciting because it keeps it fresh. You know, there's always something new to learn or to adjust when you play your character or whichever character you like playing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely well, you know, as the host of the of the podcast, you'd hope that I would enjoy it, right?
Yeah. So yeah, Dark Dusk 55. I like it and I play it.
Yes. So, that being said, since we do know now that you've played the game, we have quite a lot of events, right?
I'm sure this opens up so many more questions.
I know. I'm so glad to hear that.
What would you guys have done if I said, not for me?
I don't know. I guess that's the podcast.
Yeah.
You know, thank you for coming on.
Thanks, guys. This has been...
All right, end of podcast. 10-minute
It's
podcast.
like, I guess we have nothing else to ask. You know, GLACE, if we can't talk about Dragalia Lost, what do we talk about?
Ooh.
Because that would be all of Patia.
No!
Oh,
GLACE
no.
panicking into
No.
No.
You're sitting me into. I can't even speak right.
You need a weighted blanket or anything? What can we do?
Oh man,
Let me. Where's my plushie?
Yeah.
that's so funny. Oh, you do have the
I found
Patia
it.
bean, right? That's
I
we'll have to.
found her. It's okay.
We'll have to share that in the description. But GLACE had commissioned for a Patia bean. It's like a little Patia. I don't want to say stuffed animal, but
Do you know like the Zoom that did
Totally.
put out?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that. It's just
Cute.
like that, except she's like the size of a softball.
That's
Adorable.
super cool. So, yeah. Okay, more DL questions.
I'll be sure to let Sarah know.
Sarah does know. And
Oh, sure. Good.
I think.
yeah.
Devin,
I think Caitlin, am I saying her name right? The voice for Botan and
Yeah.
Ayaha.
Yeah, Caitlin.
She tagged Sarah in
Good.
the post for it that the artist did. I'm like, oh, she knows.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. Anywho, back into the DL questions. We actually have a combination from Lear and Dragon's Twilight asking about your favorite event in DL.
Sure. I guess. Define event. What am I allowed to pull from here?
Honestly, it really could be anything. The thing is, we've had so many events in DL. We have facility events. We have raid events. We have the new defensive battles. I think we could probably break it into maybe.
I would also list the collabs.
Yeah, I think the collabs
Yeah,
are fair game.
because the
I think the
collab-
collabs are fair
The
game.
collabs all.
Am I too much of a casual if I say one of the collabs?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I
No.
mean, a lot of DL fans are most excited about the collabs.
Totally. Then I gotta go with my Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem is great.
I've been a Fire Emblem fan for so long, and around the time that I found out that I was going to be Euden, was not too far from the time when they announced the first Fire Emblem event.
Nice.
And that was too much good news for me all at once. I couldn't handle that. But yeah, I just love the writing for it. Like I think they just they wove the Fire Emblem Heroes stuff and the Dragalia stuff so well together. I also like Yuri Lowenthal as Marth and Matt Mercer as Crom. Like those are two of my heroes. So being able to have a party with Euden and Marth and Crom together it does something to my brain. So I gotta go with Fire Emblem.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Fire Emblem is what initially got me into DL.
Oh, sweet.
So that collab is
Yeah.
it definitely worked, right? And the idea of the
Great.
collaborations is to bring two fan bases together and find new games to enjoy, and that definitely worked. I have been avidly playing ever since. So
Awesome. Oh,
yeah.
good.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with the Fire Emblem event being super, super cool. I think that when they first did the defense battles too, that was really awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that and they had the trial events with Veronica and Alphonse.
Yeah.
Those, the level of difficulty as a new player playing in those on year one, right before, right when Double Worm Prince became a thing
Right.
and all that. That for me really hooked me. Is I never played a mobile game that was that challenging. It was difficult. I remember spending a lot of time.
Yeah. I think that sort of speaks to the excellence of the design in that, like, there's so many gacha games, especially like turn-based ones, where sometimes it is just pay to win. Like sometimes it is just, make sure
Right.
you get the unit that came out that month, or you're not going to be able to beat whatever the high level raids are for that time period.
Absolutely.
And I think Dragalia does a really good job of keeping things relatively balanced. Like the power creep isn't nearly as bad as in some other games, and because it is an action game, you have to know how to play the game. You can't just play the numbers game and set everything on auto. If you want to get through the tougher stuff, you learn rotations, you study enemy attack patterns, there's so many dimensions to what makes it a good game on top of being a mobile game.
Absolutely. And well, additionally, this is kind of a plug for the devs, but I knew originally players had complained about high dragons having attacks that were unfair.
Oh yeah.
And I recently discovered that the high dragons, as of version 2.0, have all new attack indicators for the attacks that were, originally you just didn't know if it was your first time playing in the fight. So the Master High Dragon trials now, a good example of this is High Jupiter's Lightning. It actually will show the purple circles where they will land.
That's really interesting, because they just I play a lot of Final Fantasy 14, and there was actually just the latest update for that also retroactively went back and added some more like visual cues for some tougher fights that people had been complaining about for a little bit. So I think AoE circles, man.
Yes. They matter. They do matter. Especially when they're very, very powerful, and for most cases can one-shot the player.
Yeah.
I do empathize with the players that felt that they were unfair. It was a situation where you would have to memorize the pattern in order to succeed. And that does have its own merits, right? I mean, there is a sense of value. I did an Audric solo. I played just as Audric against Master Jupiter, and I had to memorize those patterns for the attacks.
Cool.
But yeah, I mean, it was a lot of fun. It took me like 7 hours to do.
Sure.
But in the end, it was done. So
I heard they added indicators for the whirlpools for High Mercury.
Yes.
And for Master High Mercury, and that was always one thing that made me never grind out High Mercury.
Right.
It's just the fact that you either had to go through all of that jank with random, almost random. I see them as random save spots for the whirlpools and such. And I'm like, I grinded like one weapon. I'm like, all right, this is it. I'm getting twins. It's frustrating.
Yeah. It was.
It was completely understandable why people resorted to Hawk for that sort of stuff.
Right. Well, Hawk's cheese and things like that. That came out later on. So if you wanted to clear Master Mercury when it first launched, you had to play the fight legitimately. So
yeah, I didn't do that. I'm gonna be honest. I did not do that.
I did. That was my first Master Dragon that I cleared. And the tip that I learned over on Foundry's server, when I was a youngin at the time, I was a baby player. I had very weak units, so the best I could offer was a buffer Noel at the time. was if you turned off all the audio on the game, but you left the sound effects on, there was an audio cue for the whirlpool, and when that sound turned off, you could run through the whirlpool and it wouldn't hurt you. So if you used that to your advantage, then you had enough time to get past the whirlpool phase using the audio as a cue. And I have no idea who discovered it or how they did it, but it saved me beyond countless runs that I ended up doing after that. So
Cool.
yeah, it was, little tidbits that they throw in there for things to listen to, but definitely visual cues always, are nice change. They're always welcome. So yeah, we do have some more favorites on the questions list if you'd like to keep rolling on the favorites.
Absolutely.
We
Let's do
have
it.
a combination question from a few different people, from Layla and I believe it is Mike Land or Mike Ian. I hope I'm getting it correct. If not, let me know in the comments. I apologize. But we have this is an amalgamation question of your favorite units of each element, or how you categorize your favorite units in Dragalia Lost.
Okay. Gosh. All right. Okay. Let's start with fire. Let's just start with fire.
Okay.
Favorite units are very different from, I'll say, what JPEG I like the most. So for fire, I gotta say either Crom or Marth. I know it's a bit of a cop out. They're the Fire Emblem guys, but I love them. They're great. I always have them in my team.
Oh, absolutely.
They rule. Let's just leave it at that for fire. Let's see. Water. Oh boy. I've got a real soft spot for Karina.
Karina's pretty
Ooh.
nice.
I love a pirate. Also, God, I'm gonna be showing just my whole hand here. Summer Julieta.
Yes. Summer Julieta.
Nice.
Wind. I gotta go with Wedding Ellie.
Yes, Hit will be very happy about that. He loves.
How fitting for the voice of Euden to like letting Noah sad.
God, I'm a simple man with simple tastes.
Apparently, she did get buffed pretty well, so chances are.
Oh yeah, she did.
Yeah. So,
Great.
if you do have her in game, someone to look into building.
Yeah, I don't have her.
Oh
Someday.
no. Okay. Yes.
Someday.
Someday.
For light units, I hope it's not too conceited of me to say Euden is.
I mean, he's pretty cool.
He's I think he's the first unit that I tried to pull for. I think the only money I've spent was to get Euden.
I mean, it makes sense, right? And
Yeah.
the devs,
Yeah.
they knew. They said, what's your account ID?
Yeah. But also, I don't know, Halloween Ellie is also great too. I don't know. And then for dark, I for many reasons, I'm gonna say Patia.
Excellent choice.
Yeah, not because of the present company, but it is. I think she's a great character in game. I like the way she's written. I like the way she plays in game. Also, it's my very, very good friend Sarah Troyer, who we were I think we were actually working together on something as we both ended up finding out that we were cast.
Oh, that's super cool.
So like it was a really fun experience for us to chat back and forth about how excited we were about being in the game together. And I remember pulling Patia and sending Sarah a screenshot of Patia and Euden in a party together.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a really fun experience for me to have one of my good friends in game with me for kind of the first time.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely awesome.
Yeah. And then, did you ask me about dragons?
We can. Yeah, we definitely can. We can roll right into your favorite great worm, or we could even say just dragon in general if there's one that you like more than the great worms.
Well, of the great worms, again, I'm a simple man. Mim.
Yes. That's all I'll say. Yes.
Yeah, she's great. But also like I love Zodiark. Just kind of as a character too. Like, I think he's very cool. But like dragons general, boy, I'm real predictable. Jeanne d'Arc.
Yeah. Which she is a lot better now than with Hildegard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And her Void battle is also, or Void version is also pretty cool too.
Right.
For Jeanne d'Arc.
Yeah, that's yeah. I think that's a pretty good representation of my tastes as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, definitely. I think everyone's got a good feel of the tastes and appreciations of each character.
Totally. Yeah. Appreciations.
And then GLACE, I think you have a final question here in DL that you had been looking to ask.
I asked this with Devin, but are any collaboration like this?
Oh yeah, I mean Devin had good answers. I liked his a lot. Mine are gonna be better. So Devin, if you're listening, here's how a pro answers questions. You nerd. God, I probably should have thought about my answer to this question before I smack talked.
Sorry, he'll be here in the comments or in your DMs.
Yeah, he definitely will. I would love. I would love any kind of Square Enix collaboration. The only other gacha games that I really played for any length of time was Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, and I played a bit of Kingdom Hearts Unchained as well, because that's also a pretty darn good like action RPG. But I Brave Exvius also kind of shares that amazing like story writing, like just writing that's better than it has any right to be for a gacha game. And I love the characters in that game, and the art is fantastic, and the music is great, and any kind of Final Fantasy crossover would be fantastic as far as I'm concerned. Also on like the other end of things, I would like to see like Fire Emblem Heroes get a reciprocal Dragalia event. Like I would love to have a Dragalia event in Fire Emblem Heroes, or the Rockman Dive is the new Mega Man mobile game.
I know about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's super cool. Yeah.
I don't know when it's getting released properly. I think it's in beta now, or it's been released in some regions, but you can't get it. Anyway, they've been doing some really cool stuff with Mega Man characters in that, and I would love to. Yeah, I'd love just to reciprocate and get to have a Dragalia event in one of these games that we've had events for. I think would be really fun.
Oh, definitely. And you know, canonically speaking, for Fire Emblem and Dragalia specifically, we got Veronica before Fire Emblem did. You
Totally.
know, they should get Zethia before we do. I think that just makes sense to me.
Yeah, I like that.
As a side note, I would like to say that in Japan there is a mobile Monster Hunter game as well.
Yes, there is.
Cool.
There is.
Cool.
Yeah. So, and that may have been in light with, you know, the timing that we received a Monster Hunter collab.
Right. Yeah.
So that was most likely, you know, good advertisement on both parts.
Totally.
To have that Monster Hunter, great franchise. Really, really liked that event as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we do have actually now a set of questions specifically about the character that you play, Euden.
I've heard of him too.
Yes, he is. You know, he's a prince. I don't know if you
He's a good boy.
but he is. He is the goodest boy, the seventh scion. So we think.
He is the goodest.
Speaking of Euden and in terms of gameplay, we have a question from the Kirby's, who asks, what do you think of Euden's mana spiral? And of course, I will tack on as well, do you have Euden at 70 MC or fully spiraled?
I don't.
Oh, you do not?
I do not.
Oh no! Any particular reason, or is it
I'm
you've been
so
using
sorry.
Crom and Marth more often?
I use him all the time. He's to the point where sometimes I feel like I'm being weird about it because I hear my voice.
Oh,
the
I
time.
could see how that could be. Yeah.
Yeah, he's usually my party leader. He's usually who I play. Yeah, I just, again, this is just my casual. I'm showing my whole casual ass here. Yeah, a lot of the like upgrading and optimization stuff sometimes slips past me because I'm usually just working my way through events or story stuff. So yeah.
For sure, absolutely. He does, you know, in the spiral gain more utility in his dragon form,
Right.
which is the pretty cool part about his kit.
Yeah.
I definitely don't think that, especially the way that the developers have designed his spiral, that he will ever be crept or power crept, especially with the rebalance.
Right.
As he, you know, having the ability to remove buffs from an enemy while he's in his dragon state, with dragons also getting a huge buff in general across the board, it is pretty cool. So,
Sweet.
yeah, definitely a potential. Speaking of which, you did pull for Gala Euden.
Yeah.
Did you manage to pull Gala Euden?
Oh yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay, because
Yeah.
I heard there was money spent, right? And then
Yes.
I don't know if we had a conclusion
Yeah,
for it, so I was hoping there was a happy ending.
Absolutely did. Actually, he's usually the character that I play as is.
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He also, you know, having a unique coab is really cool.
Yeah.
The healing on the shapeshift and the dragon damage and the dragon time all is going to be something that I'm sure a lot of players are going to be adventuring into, attempting to use more often now.
Yeah.
With how, for one, how strong dragons have become across the board.
Right.
So, yeah, we will have to see how things pan out.
Yeah.
And yeah, we have another, you know, this is in the question of Euden's. This is more about voicing Euden and This is from Beau, Beau.
Oh, Bo.
I think it's
Or is it Bo? Okay.
Yeah,
You know what? They got
I know Bo. Shout out to Bo real quick.
Okay.
All right, thanks. Okay.
I'm so sorry for pronouncing it wrong. It happens from time to time. I'm the worst. And,
French words.
They
French
so
words
they
are
were
tricky.
Oh yes. They were asking, what do you think of that gets you into the role of Euden the most?
Sure. I mean, it's really just so sometimes when I'll go in for a recording session and they'll play me a couple lines that I've done of Euden before, and it feels a little redundant because Euden is just the anime protagonist that I've always wanted to be. He's just I don't know, he's every main character in a JRPG that just wants to fight for his friends. And
Yeah.
you know, like it's something that's so in my bones from having played games like this since I was like 4 years old. So it's really, you know, I just kind of tap into a younger, more optimistic version of myself, a more motivated version of myself too. But yeah, I just, you know, I hear his voice, and I read the lines that he has, and I just think I know exactly what he needs to be, because he's just that guy.
Yeah, everyone's depending on him.
Yeah. So I don't know. There's something intrinsic in inside fans of this kind of storytelling. Like he's just there. He's in there.
Yeah. And kind of as we were saying, you know, off camera, it's you know, everyone is also identifying themselves, right, as the prince, or aligning themselves with the main character.
Yeah.
And so that's, yeah, it's just it's a really cool spot to be.
Yeah.
John Mill also asked like a follow-up question to this too, in kind of how does it feel to be you know, the voice, or to get in the role of the main protagonist of DL?
It's the best. I think I've probably told Devin and some of the other cast about this, but like the first time I left the recording studio after doing my first session as Euden, I almost cried. I was so close. But I have no more tears to shed, so I couldn't. Just the feeling of, yeah, like I say, knowing that this has been such a big part of the media that I've consumed as a kid growing up, and I've always loved this kind of character, and I've always wanted to be this kind of character, and yeah, it's really amazing. I love it so much. I love the fan art. I love seeing other people who love Euden. I love seeing the memes. I love, you know, what a goof he can be. And I don't know.
Yes, party boy Euden.
Totally. Like,
Yes.
I just, yeah, I love it. I love everything about it. There is not a part of being the voice of Euden that hasn't made me just like unbearably happy.
That's
You know,
awesome.
It's really awesome to hear, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it definitely. You go ahead, guys.
I was just gonna say a fun fact. In main chord, A lot of us call Gala Euden Goof.
Yes. Or Goof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's the lovable Goof, you know. He's always ready
Yeah.
to party.
Totally.
So that being said, now that we have gotten you in the spot of Euden, a little emotional, what are your favorite lines to record while you're in the studio? And this question, by the way, was from there.
Oh, hello there.
That's awesome.
I think some of my favorite stuff to do was like what really got me in the pocket of like JRPG protagonist is when I got to do a lot of the battle stuff and especially for like getting to shout like a catchphrase and then the name of an attack is like has been my dream forever. Like I've always just wanted to have, you know, that kind of like it's the rider kick. It's the Kamehameha of the like it's the whole shtick of being like a very very anime style protagonist. So I definitely love anytime I get to shout a special attack, so like Rising Circlet or Exalted Glory or Exalted Glory, I think. Is that the what's the line that leads into that? That's
I think it's with all our hearts, Exalted Glory.
with our hearts is one.
Yes.
Exalted
Yeah.
Glory.
Oh, that's it. Right.
Yeah, with
And-
the animation. And that was one of the
Yeah.
most gorgeous animations that they've shown off.
Oh, it looks great.
With all the character models coming in and then this like rainbow explosion. in
And
the center.
because I play pretty casually, usually if I'm using that attack, it means I've won. You know,
Yes.
like that's usually the last thing I get to do before a normal difficulty boss, and then I get to just sit back and enjoy the story. But yeah, I think Exalted Glory is a fun time.
Yeah.
That's where I felt at peace with the long lineage of anime protagonists who shout their special attacks.
That's so awesome. Yeah. Would you, by chance, be able to give us a sample of Exalted Glory?
I would love to.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Let's see. With our hearts as one, Exalted Glory.
That's so awesome. I got chills.
That is amazing.
Chills.
Oh my god.
And
I thought I was playing the game for a second.
Yeah.
that's one where some of the direction is like my impulse is to like really shout some of those attacks, you know, like I really want to give it, and I think one of the directions I got a couple times in my first few sessions was, you know, you don't need to overpower it, you don't need to be, it's not like it's not the end of Gurren Lagann or anything, like you don't need to be
Awesome
you're
reference,
not,
by the way.
you're not destroying the universe with this attack.
Yeah.
You can let it sit a little bit. So anytime I get to like ramp up the intensity, I love, because Euden doesn't get to like scream a lot or anything, so
Yeah. Speaking of Euden and other characters in DL, if Euden were to be able to join Smash, which of course we in the DL community would love, if he is unable, is there another character that you would like to have take his place on the Smash Brothers roster? And then why? And this is by Goat.
No one could take his place. Well, look, if Euden's gonna sacrifice anything, it's gonna be for Zethia.
This is true.
So yeah, let's bump up the number of Smash Sisters, and I think I would have to say, like, I would want a Zethia that like has has form changes that like
That would be cool.
I mean
That would be neat.
obviously her alternate costumes kind of speak for themselves. But yeah, I would like kind of a long range caster kind of fighter with a final smash that brings in Euden and the rest of the main cast for like an Exalted Glory style finisher or something. Yeah, I think so.
That would be really cool. Yeah. Definitely something
And-
akin to
And then
Palutena.
Smash can get Zethia before we do.
Oh my god.
Yeah, a Palutena style, I think would be really cool.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Yeah.
I would definitely be down for.
And
something
everyone loves
like that.
Palutena.
You know, obviously she'd be carrying the Dawn Shard. As a minor spoiler, at least in your part in the story, I apologize.
No worries. It's being involved in the community means that you get some spoilers every
Yes.
once in a while. It's my fault for dragging my ass. So
No. I mean, here's the way that I look at it, right? You do work so that we get to play. So,
Sure.
As far as I'm concerned, for me and for the listeners, you are hard at work and you are working on the game that we love, and that is the reason why that you are not caught up with us. And so, I think that is
Well, thank
a noble reason.
You overestimate how long a session takes, but I'll take it.
Yes.
I'll say yes. I am absolutely hard at work. I'm in the voice acting mines every day to bring you fresh Dragalia.
Absolutely. And of course, in order to catch you up, GLACE and I are always here. And Devin, if you're listening, this is a party of 4.
Oh my god.
So,
Devin, if you haven't clicked off already, out of rage, Victor, then yeah.
for being verbally abused by your castmate.
yes. And of course, adding Volk to Smash. But,
Oh yeah. Oh no! Dang it! That's what I should have done. As recompense, I'll give Devin he can have Vulcan Smash.
that would be pretty cool. Because
Is
his
he like a
final
stage-
Smash could be the Agito form.
Totally.
And
Okay. Imagine Volk as like a stage boss.
that would be super cool too.
That'd be great.
And he restricts the play area with the Feral Shroud.
Yeah.
Or something like that. That could be really cool.
Yeah. Definitely something to look forward to. We do have a full roster left to reveal in Smash Brothers for the DLC
Yeah.
characters. I believe there was a leak, and this is a little side topic on it, but there was a leak that said that on October 4th they'd be announcing the next Smash Brothers DLC character. So
Obviously, outside of the world of DL, who are you guys hoping for? Are you like regular Smash players? Like, what's your?
oh gosh, yeah, I don't play competitive, but I play often. I really enjoy Smash. I think the best claim to Smash that I could say for my competitive scene was I did a Smash Open, and I was
Ooh.
one game away from the invitation.
Hey.
So
Hey!
I almost made it, except Bowser got me because I was on Wi-Fi, and up Beata Shield really took me for a time. So,
That's
but
awesome though.
that being said, I don't know. I honestly, I've been really happy with any character. I feel hard pressed to get a specific character in mind, because I'm always pleasantly surprised by the DLC characters.
Yeah.
They end up being characters I didn't know I wanted in the game.
Right.
Even if I don't play them all the time. Like the latest one being Min Min is super fun to play. And I had played ARMS when it came out.
Yeah.
And it totally slipped my mind as a character or a title that would be really fun in Smash Brothers.
Yeah. I think the way they implemented her is fantastic.
Yes.
I was I tried playing her when she first came out, and when ARMS first came out, I was working as a Nintendo of Canada brand ambassador. So I was doing a bunch of like Switch demos and things out at different festivals and things during the summer, and I was part of like the Nintendo tour. And so I had to show a lot of people how to play ARMS. Cause
That's really cool. Yeah.
yeah, and I was surprised at how much like how much translated, like how much of those skills I developed playing ARMS translated into playing as Min Min.
Oh
Like,
yes, definitely.
Like there was just like this intrinsic sort of like, okay, I now that I know that, you know, I'll just think of the B button as what my left arm was and the A button is what my right arm was playing, and then testing out, like trying to add a curve to stuff, and I was like, yeah, that works great. It was kind of brilliant. So
yeah, Sakurai always manages to impress. You know?
totally.
And honestly, the even cooler thing is we weren't even supposed to have a second pass of DLC characters. That was just kind of gifted to us. So
Totally. I'm so grateful for whoever's in this.
yes, yeah, yeah.
I was pretty satisfied with the first pass,
Mhm.
and we're just getting 6 more. I'm like,
That's
damn,
incredible.
this is awesome.
Yeah,
I mean, personally, Min Min isn't for me.
sure.
I say this despite who I really want in Smash, but just Min Min isn't for me.
Yeah.
As for who I want, I do have a couple of names. My first one is Monster Hunter.
Monster
Oh,
Hunter
yeah.
would be cool.
They had Monster Hunter in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite,
Yeah.
and they represented the just Monster Hunter very well. She had 3 different weapons.
That's
fantastic.
really cool. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, they have
Also-
the ability
also-
to do it similar to like how Link is, right? Where he has the different weapons, you know, for each of the different special attacks, right? The
Right.
bomb, the boomerang, the bow and arrow, and it creates this very dynamic character, you know, where he has the ability to play at range or, you know, at close.
Yeah. Kind of like, you know, an extension of the philosophy behind how Byleth plays.
Yes, yes. Which Byleth is, you know, I knew initially, and it was awesome the way they did the release for Byleth, because, you know, you have in the trailer, right, another sword character, right, like
Yeah.
in there.
Oh yeah, so
And-
tongue-in-cheek.
I loved it.
I
I
loved it.
loved that so much
Yeah.
because, you know, they knew you know, like how people would respond, because they're like, oh, you know, like Smash Brothers is all sword characters, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then Byleth ends up being a very dynamic character with a lance, right? A bow,
Super interesting.
an
Yeah.
axe, you know?
Yeah.
Really, really cool.
I play as her a lot just because I don't know. She's I've found myself lately really enjoying Byleth and Corrin.
Yes,
um,
they're both very fun.
Yeah.
I play a lot of Corrin
see-
in doubles.
Who else do you want to see, Glace?
Yes.
I was also gonna say about Byleth. You mean the character I jumped twice and then down B with, trying to hit someone? Because that's all I do. I just
Yeah,
play
yeah.
I just try and land. What I usually do
It's so
is that
satisfying
when I'm playing
when
new
it
people.
works,
When I find new people, the first thing I do is I try to find the dumbest strat that will work on them, and that's usually one of them.
Yeah.
But as for the other character, I really want to zone the shit out of people with Reimu from Toho.
Ooh.
Toho,
Okay.
Toho is a bullet hell game.
Yeah.
I think if I recall correctly, it's the biggest indie game in the
Yeah.
world.
It sure is.
I say this, we're gonna be like Minecraft. I'm like, Minecraft is owned by Microsoft. It's no longer
Minecraft.
stuff like that.
Imagine
Minecraft
getting the
is cool,
Minecraft
though.
miner in Smash.
Steve would be neat, but I want Reimu. partially just because Reimu's cool. But also, I think if she was a zoner, it would be hilarious because I'm always all or nothing.
Sure.
So like, if I want to be a zoner, I want to be like an extreme zoner. If I want to be the close range, I want to be extremely close range.
Right.
If I get to be Reimu, that's like I just want to make people play Toho, but in Smash Bros.
That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of different unique kits that cater to a lot of different players, and that's I think Smash is up to like 80 characters.
Yeah,
At
I
this
mean,
point?
it depends on how you factor in like Echo Fighters
Pokemon
and
Trainer.
different skins and stuff. But
Right.
I want another Namco character. I want either like another early Namco arcade character, like a Wonder Momo or a Bravo Man, or like
Ooh, okay.
Tower of Druaga. I would love like Kai from Tower of Druaga, just as like, because I always really enjoy the like video game history characters. Like I love the Game and Watch, I love the Pac-Mans, I love the so I would, or even like Rob, like I love the stuff that takes something old and puts it in a totally different context. Or I want Cosmos from Xenosaga.
Okay. Yeah.
That's my like more contemporary Namco pick. Or Klonoa. I don't know if
Oh, Klonoa.
Yeah.
I have
think
not
that
played
would
it, but I've heard very many good things about it.
I mean, imagine like how they would implement grabs, because
Oh my
Klonoa
God,
is
that
all
would be
about
so interesting.
the gameplay of it is all about like grabbing an enemy and then using that enemy for your mobility. So like having a character that's predominantly about grabs and then like, I don't know, throwing them to the side and like using that to combo, or like up in the air and then using that to propel yourself to like space yourself for different like long range attacks. I don't know. I think Klonoa could be really cool. It would be so weird and experimental, but I'd like that a lot.
Like Donkey Kong Cargo Throw?
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Klonoa Ding Dong?
Or yeah, Cosmos, just she's got so many different kinds of weapons and she rules.
Yeah.
And I want a
super cool.
Xenosaga HD collection.
Oh, just slide that in there.
Yeah.
Please. If you're listening. That's awesome.
What were we talking about? What game podcast is this?
Oh, the one, the
What's the Dragalia?
Dragalia found.
It's Azur
Oh,
Lane. Is that
oh.
what we're talking about?
Yes.
No, I thought we were
It's time to
talking.
roll for wife.
No. See, this podcast is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
Not actually, but Raid Shadow Legends. If you're listening, please. I'll try the game. I swear.
Raid Shadow Legends X Dragalia win.
Yeah, and if you type the code, please respond. Down below you'll get access to a new character. Lots of goodies. Oh, man. Yes. So yeah, we do have one last question that's not quite about Euden, but more so about his alternative type character in the story, which is Nedrick, as the English version of his name, where it's Nedu in Japanese, which is the reverse of Euden.
It's some real. Have you guys ever played Snatcher?
No, I have not.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Classic point and click Hideo Kojima game.
Mm-hmm.
There's a character named Elijah Madnar. and then there's another character that shows up named Random Hajil.
Okay.
And like they're obviously the inverse of one another. I'm not gonna spell the names out, but like Random Hajil works out to be the Elijah Madnar spelled backwards.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And
That's so goofy.
it's so goofy because neither of those are names that anyone would ever have.
right.
Like,
It's like, oh,
It's
what's your
just-
surname? It's Hajil.
yeah. I would be Rotkiv Retna.
That's so awesome. Yeah.
So, there
I was
you go.
thinking, instead of a, how so he's backwards Euden, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the best way to describe it, because it's like Nedrick, it has a JP voice actor in Japan, and that's actually the same voice actor as Euden,
Right.
and we don't have him as a boss. We don't have him as a character, right? So there's no like official, way that he speaks. We could always just try our best to pronounce "exalted glory" backwards.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do it. He's like.
I need to type it out to see how it would look in the bottom section.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had exalted glory, right? And then if we're gonna spell it backwards, as I'm going ahead and just typing so that everyone is aware who is listening. All right, so I have to look. Oh my gosh, this looks so cursed.
Nope. I love it.
Here we go. All right, so from what I'm looking at, it would be. I'm assuming the Y could be silent, right? So it could be Rolg.
Rolg Ditlaxi.
Ditlaxi, yeah.
Okay, and then what is
Or-
with?
Or I think
with
that's
our-
Ditlax.
With our hearts as one, the opposite of that would be
Oh.
without no one's brains as 0.
I love it. that's the official sneak peek into Nedrick's moveset.
Yeah.
You're all good that lacks.
Yeah, sorry, I'm breaking so much of my NDA right now. I'm so sorry, guys, but yeah, absolutely. Nedrick's catchphrase is without no one's brains as 0. Irolg Ditlaxi.
Oh my gosh.
Hold on, I need to. Okay.
And then 3 months down the line he shows up and that's the line.
Holy shit.
Hold on.
That's so funny. But yes.
Okay, here we go. Here's my reading. Here's my official reading. You've heard it here first. This is an exclusive first sneak peek at Nedrick.
With no one's brains is 0. Irolg Ditlaxi.
That's amazing.
I'm dead. I'm dead.
Man. I'm convinced I must spend all my diamantium on the Nedrick banner.
I think I picked that voice because I imagine him being like the Mandark to Euden's Dexter.
Yes.
From
Yes.
Oh my
that's
God.
perfect.
Easy.
but with Zethia, I guess.
Oh my gosh. That's so good. Oh man.
Z.
I'm hoping
my-
for listeners of the podcast they go out and they create the Dexter Zethia Euden meme for us now to see.
Oh my
That would be
god.
so amazing.
Oh my god.
With Nedrick in
If
there.
I see that on the subreddit next week, I'm gonna be. Oh my gosh.
Yes, that'd be so funny. Oh,
I'll see if I can convince the writers to slip like an omelette du fromage into Euden's dialogue somewhere. Or
That'd be so amazing.
That would be fantastic.
Boy.
Oh my gosh. Yes. All right. We have actually a few set of other questions to ask. These are more so to do with you as an actor, and less to do with the game.
Sure.
And we have a first question from
Good.
the Celiera guy.
I
First of
think I
all,
might know who that is.
He would like to know how you are doing. He said, "How are you, Victor?"
I'm great. How are you, Celiar guy?
And please, Mr. Celier
Mr.
guy,
Guy.
let us know in the comments if you're listening on YouTube. If you are listening on Spotify, there will be a link to join the Discord, and go ahead and let us know how you are doing in the channel Halidom Hotspot discussion. As
You
far
can just-
as yes,
You just tweet me. Let me
Or
know
tweet
how
'em.
you're doing.
yeah.
I just want to know what's up. I just need, I want to know you're okay. Listen, times are tough right now,
They are.
Mr. Guy, and I just want to make sure you're okay.
Yes.
Let me-
You heard it here on the podcast. Please let him know. And so he
think that's a
is
very
identifying
dangerous-
himself. GLACE, you might possibly know him. He said, "I am the one." From another
Oh,
Discord.
the one.
He's the
Wow.
one. All right.
Oh. I have two ideas of who this might be
Okay.
because they both relate to Celiera.
Nice. He's
I'm
from
gonna
another
laugh
Discord,
if it's-
right?
Okay.
And
Yeah.
he asked about Mega Man Battle Network after
Great.
finding out that you play Boktai, which I'm unfamiliar with. So I'll probably ask for you to fill us in. And he said, which one is your favorite from both series?
Listen, if you want to turn this into a Boktai podcast, I could do that for you. I could talk about Boktai to no end. It's Boktai. Oh no, that's the collaboration I want. I want a DL collab with the long dead Hideo Kojima, Ikuya Nakamura directed experimental solar power based Western themed vampire hunting action stealth RPG Boktai. I love these games so much. Okay. Favorite Boktai game? Probably Boktai 1, just because it's the shortest and I can just play through it every summer and I adore it. Boktai 2, also fantastic. Went way more RPG with the mechanics and added a lot more NPCs. Solid Snake has a cameo in it. You can wear Raiden's armor from Metal Gear Solid 2.
That's cool.
Also, it has a crossover event with Mega Man Battle Network, so you get the Mega Buster as a weapon. Wait, hold on. We're already in a shared universe with Boktai. That's our one.
Oh my
degree
god,
of-
you're right.
Our 1 degree of Mega Man Bacon.
Oh my
is-
goodness. You're right?
So, there we go.
So we're saying, so am I hearing right that Boktai is now canon in Dragalia?
Ah,
It has to
please.
be.
You know,
Awesome.
I immediately went to the wiki because I've never heard of Boktai before, and I immediately pulled up Boktai: The Sun is in Your Hands for the Game Boy Advanced,
That's the one, baby.
which
Some
got a
some of
really
the
good
best-
rating.
It's incredible. They're so expensive now because they've never been re-released because they're so hardware dependent because they have solar sensors in
Yes.
the cartridges.
Yes, this
Um,
blew me away. Like,
Yeah, so you have to go out and play in the sunshine, which is like super super cool, and it adds so many other layers of difficulty. Like, I've had so many times where like I've been chasing the sunset because I'm trying to finish off a boss, and the only way you can finish off a boss is in direct sunlight, and it's so much fun. They're brilliant. God, everybody, go out there, get yourself a copy of Boktai. You're gonna have a great time.
this looks really cool. Yeah. It says
Um,
the game's cartridge has a photometric light sensor, which
Yeah.
measures light exposure. In order to charge the in-game solar weapons, the player must take their Game Boy Advance outside in the daylight.
It rules.
So, if there's no sunlight available, the player must avoid conflict with enemies.
Yeah.
That is
And
that
it
is a
also
really
has-
cool mechanic.
Some of the best pixel art you're gonna find like since then. It looks so good. There's like every pixel is so deliberate, and they get this really like a little bit like geometric impressionist look to the way they structure the tile sets, and it just, God, it's a gorgeous game, gorgeous art. The music is fantastic. A lot of it is like spaghetti western inspired. It's like Morricone, like good, the bad, and the ugly, but like for an action RPG, and it just rules. I love these games. Anyway, God, there was a question attached to this, wasn't there?
Oh gosh, I think there was, and we have completely derailed into Boktai. I have learned quite a lot already. Their question was, which one is your favorite from both series?
Yeah, probably Boktai one, but I can be easily convinced of any of the others. There's a fan game out there. This might actually be the Discord that the Celiera guy. I'm gonna call you TCG from now on. Yeah, TCG. Yeah,
Very
you know
catchy,
me.
yeah.
This might be the Discord that TCG is referring to, but there's a fan game called, I think it's called Kura 5, and it's like a fan-made spiritual successor to Boktai that takes your local weather information to inform what the weather is like in-game.
That's really cool.
And it
That's
looks
spiffy.
very cool. There's a really great, I think there's a demo for it out now. But anyway, Mega Man Battle Network. My favorite is probably 2, because it just refined a little bit of stuff that needed some fixing up from 1, but then also it. I love the final area in 2. There's like, you go to this hotel on the outskirts of town or something, and oh, hello.
Hey.
Hi.
My boy.
Wait,
Ladies and
what
gentlemen, a new challenger has entered. It's LERART.
Hey, I'm sorry, everyone. An emergency showed up, and I got late.
Oh no, it's
Yeah,
okay.
no problem.
No, you're here now with us.
problem, man.
We're
Yeah.
you know, we have the lo-fi vibes on, as the post edit will dictate. So
Yeah,
as long as you're good, then we're good.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sweet.
nice.
What was I saying about Mega Man? Oh yeah, Battle Network 2 has this great. There's like an apartment building or something near the end, and it's like it's partly in the digital world or whatever, and things start to get really abstract and weird. And that's another one where the sprite work, like all the pixel art, just really resonated with me as a kid. I thought it was just so well done. So yeah, I'm gonna say a tentative Battle Network 2 and Boktai 1, but I could be easily convinced. That's really depends what I've had for breakfast that day kind of decision.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
I'm glad other people out there are enjoying both of those series because they're fantastic, and we should probably be getting a Battle Network collection sometime soon.
Oh my god, that'd be great.
Yeah.
I will say is that at my local game store by where I live, I did see a used copy of Battle Network 2.
For a lot.
And I
of
was
money.
like, it was like $30, I'd say.
Okay, that's not bad. If
Yeah.
anyone still has a Wii U plugged in, I think all the Battle Networks are on the Virtual Console.
Oh, I do. It's actually it's
Ugh.
not with me at my apartment, but I do have one.
They're a good time.
We'll have to look
Anyway,
into it.
this has been Euden's Game Boy Advance Minute.
Yes. That's so awesome.
A regular segment that I'm sure we're going to have on every episode going forward.
Absolutely, we need it. It is a new mainstay. So if you guys are enjoying, let us know in the comments below. Oh my goodness. Yes. So I hope for TCG that answers their question and that they enjoyed the elongated segment of Boktai, as I am now interested in checking out the game.
I am now too, so
It's
Great
really,
work.
really interesting.
Excellent. Anytime I can preach the good word.
Yes. And yeah, we have actually another question in regards to voice acting, and this it pertains a little to DL, right, with other voice actors in
Sure.
DL. But you know, how often do you get to interact with the other voice actors that are cast in DL? And are there any that you would like to collaborate or interact with, either more or in general? And this is from Norwin Simp.
I mean, thank you so much for your question, Norwin. I mean, to answer the second part of that question, is there anyone I want to collaborate or interact with more? All of them, all the time. Again, Devin has really been like at the forefront of making sure that everyone in the cast kind of gets a chance to like hang out and get to know everybody. So I'm really thankful for all the work he's done on that front, because there's a bunch of the voice actors that we interact a fair bit on Twitter, and we're usually retweeting Dragalia announcements and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But also, like, I don't know, I just love seeing my friends get cast in other stuff. I like seeing everybody's projects they're involved with. Every once in a while, some of us have gotten together for some game nights to just, play whatever, Animal Crossing or Smash or whatever. So, everybody that I've hung out with so far has been wonderful, and it's also been great during, friggin' year 2020 is a rough one for seeing people. And
definitely
having friends to hang out with. So, being able to connect with the people that are in the cast that, even under normal circumstances, we would barely ever see each other. None of this, we don't ever get to record anything as a group. So it's nice to just, I don't know, connect with people online, and because Dragalia is also like, you've got people from LA, you've got people from Toronto, you've got people from Vancouver. So it's really a nice collection of people from all over, and we get to talk and tell stories about our cities, and it's been a nice way to connect with people from far away in a time where connection is very, very, very valuable. So and I love working with all of them. Being able to collaborate with Devin and whoever else he gets for some of the Dragalia Life comics and stuff has been so much fun. I love seeing the finished products, and I love seeing the other actors that get to show up for some of those. So yeah, part of why I got into acting in the first place is to collaborate with people, and I don't mean to get a university acting course on everyone here, but acting is actually reacting. That's a little something I came up with. I invented that, and I think it's true. But yeah, you don't get to react when you're all separated. So being able to collaborate, if not in person with someone, but at least in real time with them, is so much fun. So I don't know. Did I answer that question? That was a long.
yeah, I think so. I definitely think so. Yeah.
I interact with them a lot, and I want to work with everyone all the time.
Yes, and a cool thing about a project in a game like this is there's always more cast members to be added on as more characters come in.
It's great. Yeah, I love hearing from. So I'm primarily a theater guy. That's sort of where most of my career has been. But a lot of DL is cast out of Vancouver. And the acting scene is, it's a small town. Everybody kind of knows everybody to some extent. So seeing all the people that I've done shows with before, and then, when their character gets announced in Dragalia and seeing them be super excited about it, I love being able to see that seeing people get so stoked for their character reveal trailers and stuff like that is really, really fun.
Absolutely, yeah. And a lot of the characters have, especially in a game like DL, very unique play styles, and
Totally. And the
uh,
character designs are so great. Like,
yes.
I don't know. It's just, yeah, it rocks.
Yeah, I think we had mentioned this maybe with Evan, maybe with Foundry. I don't remember which episode. I know it might have been mentioned, but I love how the writers take a character in DL. They give them a condition or some kind of fixation, right? Like with Durant and his wolves.
Yeah.
And then they expand upon it in the stories that are given.
Yeah.
So you have, he's got the whole wolf pack dynamic, but then he's actually a big old softy for his wolves, and you see that he actually has a heart through that.
Totally.
And that level of writing that they add, in DL is really what makes it for me.
Yeah. And speaking of people who, interacting with other people in DL, I know one of the English writers is Stefan Meyerink, I believe is how you pronounce his last name. I don't know. We've only been Twitter friends. I've never had to say his name out loud. But he's so talented. He's a fantastic writer. He has worked on a lot of very, very, very cool stuff lately. A lot of supplementary material for some of the Final Fantasy games, and he also plays a bit of 14. So Stefan, if you're listening, we're overdue for an alliance raid.
Yes.
Yeah, so I don't know, just the talent on all sides is just really amazing.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. And this kind of feeds into Just Kidding had a question in regards to voice acting. About your works, if you've voice acted in other types of media, whether it be animations, games, cartoons.
Sure.
And any tips that you might have for anyone looking to get into voice acting or starting that as their career.
Right. I will answer tips for people. Gosh. You'll hear this from every voice actor in the world, but the acting is the most important part. Take classes. Be a good actor. I don't know. I'm lucky that I went to university for it. I've been doing it for a really long time, and I have a theater background that I'm really thankful for, and I'm really thankful that some of that is sort of translating into some voiceover work, because really Dragalia Lost is my first real voice acting character credit. I've done some corporate stuff. I've done narration and instructional videos and things before, but this was really really exciting for me. So just keep working at being a good actor and a diverse actor, and someone who someone who can do commercials, who can do theater, who can do film and TV, who can do voiceover, and all the different kinds of voiceover, narration, and there's a lot of different kinds of work out there. So diversify, go to workshops, find out who is casting these things, learn about the studios, and learn about your sort of the ecosystem of voiceover in your city, and cross your fingers.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because you're gonna get a lot of rejection. Um, but yeah, it's not for the faint of heart, but also it's very rewarding and very, you know, it helps if you love acting and if you love being an actor and everything about that. What was the other part?
Work experience, I think was.
Yeah,
big.
I think I kind of answered that a little bit.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, this is pretty much it as far as like named characters go. I do a lot of nah, I won't talk about that.
Sure.
Oh,
Moving on.
Yes, we have a question from Soar asking about which of the Dragalia Life comics would you like to be voiced in the future?
Gosh, there's a lot of those, huh?
better listen up, Devin.
Yeah. I mean, really, it depends on who we can find that is down with it. You know, it isn't always the easiest thing in the world to ask an actor to come in and do their job for free for a little bit. It is a big ask, and I'm always very, very, very thankful for whoever decides to join us for some of these. So yeah, really, whoever wants to do it. I would love. I don't know if there's many comics with yeah, I guess I'm in most of them, huh?
I think so. It's like it's almost every
Yeah.
other. At least there will be, if not a speaking line for Euden, Euden will appear.
Yeah.
Like the I remember the one where I forget the fine details of it, but it was the adventures of the Halidom missing the prince when he goes out on a mission.
Oh yeah.
And they just had like a shrine and like the candles.
Oh my god.
It was
I
so
love
funny.
I would love to do anything that has sort of the main cast. I would love to do anything with Luca or Ellie or Ranzel, or Cleo, or like I would love an opportunity to collaborate in real time with any of the actors that are playing my friends, you know? Yeah, I would love any of that stuff.
Yeah, that's so
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, and it's got to be a lot of fun to record with your friends and you know,
It rocks. When Devin and I did the Adventurers story one a couple weeks ago, it was just so nice. Like, and again, I'm a theater guy. I like the live interaction. I like live feedback. I love that part of it. So even just doing it remotely with Devin was such a joy.
right.
Yeah. So anything like that, I'm always into.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe that's all of our questions on the list.
Yeah.
So we've been able to run them through. So yeah, I think then we have a art spotlight section.
Oh, right.
That we can run through. As far as the news and everything for the anniversary, we'll most likely end up holding that for a larger episode in the future for LERART, GLACE, and I to go and break down how to do those. But yeah, let's we can roll into to the art if you'd like, GLACE.
All right. Okay. So the first one I was gonna show is this collection done by, I believe, Krisbee, or Crispy. I don't know. Krispy Kreme donuts. Anyways, as of right now, they've been making charms of some of the Dragalia characters. One of the ones they did was, of course, my favorite, Patia. I feel like I practically bullied them into doing that one. There's Patia. There is Gala Alex. There is also Zethia. And there is Gala Ellie. They're gonna be making charms of them very soon. Right now they're like in the planning stages, so they're just trying to get like a gauge for interest.
They're adorable.
But I thought I'd
Super cute.
they are.
They are really
And they
adorable.
do have They do have plans in the future for Cleo and Mim ones.
Yes. That's all I'll say.
So as of the time of this recording, they don't have them up, but they're on their way.
Yes.
I will say, Orthodox, if you buy a Patio one, I'll buy a Mim one.
Brother in arms. A tribute to the worm print.
Oh.
The this Gala Elisan one is very adorable. I like the blush that they have on it. It's very
Super
cute.
Yeah.
cute.
So, yeah, absolutely. For this artist, it's at Chris KRISB_EE. If you guys are enjoying their art, then definitely take a look into purchasing a charm, or send them a follow here on Twitter. We'll have a link in the description below for that. And GLACE, what else do you have for us today?
I believe their name is Enini. Is that it?
We have
okay.
in
I
the
wonder.
Discord as one of our artists.
Yeah. I guess one of the pieces they did earlier this month was a really good piece of Luca. I really like them. I love the shading that they did for Luca on this one.
Yes.
I don't know. I just thought it was really cool how they did his hair.
I
Very
really
shiny and
like,
blue, and I like it.
you'll see this in more of Enini's art as well, is the way that they do eyes are very captivating. I really like, the way in which Enini does the eyes of the characters.
Totally.
So, yeah, the coloration for Luca is really awesome here too. So we can show. You have the Patio one. I know you want to show as well.
I was gonna leave that one out.
No, we're gonna show it. It's so
okay,
cute.
fine.
It's so
Okay.
cute.
Next. All right, fine. Next one is, of course, this really cool Patio one. I like it. My brain is no.
I think it's adorable, and right, and you can see more of the sample size, right, for how the eyes are done, and I think it's really captivating of a piece, right. Oftentimes you'll say eye contact is very entrancing, and it really draws me in, all the eyes that Enini draws. So again, guys, this is at Get Enini, GETENINI, and they're over on Twitter as well. So be sure to like and follow them on Twitter. We'll have links in the description below for the pieces.
Can I do a quick art plug?
Yes, absolutely. Who would you like to?
Oh yeah, of course.
There's an artist. I don't know how to pronounce their handle. It's maybe Klaeia. It's at KLAEIA. And I believe they're also a Canadian artist, but I got myself a Euden charm from them, and I love it so much. It has a special place in my heart because it is the first piece of fan art that I've ever bought of a character that I've voiced.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got some sentimental value, but they're also an amazing artist. Give them a follow.
Yes, absolutely.
I think they're
They're on
Twitter
Instagram.
might be something different than their Instagram. But
We
yeah,
usually get artists from Twitter, but I did
Yeah.
find their Instagram on here.
I think
So
Either
I think they
or,
do
I mean,
have a Twitter. There might be an underscore in the Twitter handle.
we
or
will
something.
in post find it,
Yeah.
and definitely, and I'm just scrolling through here, but we'll definitely pull it through in post. And guys, go ahead, be sure to give them a follow as well. And any other pieces that you have for us today, GLACE?
I was gonna show off the Ieyasu
Yes.
by Enini.
Sure.
I love that it's of Ieyasu in the anniversary. It's a suit attire
Yes,
that
very
was
snazzy.
teased in the countdown.
Mhm.
Very snazzy, and I love the work on this. I believe the brushwork is just phenomenal.
Absolutely, yeah.
That rocks.
And of course, the eyes, again, the eyes are very captivating, as you said.
Yes. It's really what draws me in for Enini's pieces. So, absolutely. Guys, again, this is at Get Enini, GETENINI. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Victor, thank you. It's very actually I'm tongue-tied. I'm very excited, very happy to have you on the podcast for the anniversary podcast. So thank you for taking time.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thank you for taking time out of your day.
I'm honored. I'm so glad that it lined up with the anniversary.
Yes. Yeah, it was very exciting to have it with the news coming out and then, having the podcast all together. So it was definitely very well timed.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thank you so much. Is there any plugs additional that you'd like for our listeners to check out? Your Twitter, or is there anything that you're doing right now that you'd like to showcase?
Well, there's the theater industry barely exists anymore, so nothing on that front. But I don't know. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram if you want. It's at Victor E Hunter. It's VictorEHunter. Also, oh gosh, Eat the Rich.
Yes.
Yeah, boy, that's about it.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. We'll have a link in the description below for every little bit of detail to follow Victor. So go be sure to do so. Also follow GLACE on Twitter as well. And if you haven't joined the Church of Patia, GLACE's personal Discord, I assure you are missing out. So be sure to do so. Link will be in the description below for that.
You really have to plug that every single podcast, don't you?
Yes. It is my sole duty in life to make sure that the plugs are adequately plugged.
And I just wanna thank you guys and the rest of the DL community. It's been such a wonderful experience, and it's been so much fun. Everybody is really supportive, and like it's a genuinely, every community has some dorks in it, but like overall it's been such a positive experience, and there's it's been a lot of fun, and to all my castmates too, who I've become great friends with over a very, very, very difficult year for everyone. So I feel like Dragalia has been a really great source of joy and comfort for a lot of people. So yeah, thank you guys for keeping that positivity and that sense of community.
I gotta say, I got late here, and I'm sorry again, everyone. But I heard that like Euden was your first character, right?
Yeah.
That is really impressive, because like it's a really it's one of my favorite voice acted characters in English.
Oh, thank you.
So, yeah, so that's a really cool. That is really impressive. Actually, I was not expecting that.
Thank you so much. that means so much.
But
I love that.
I was really happy to have you on the episode because of that. So.
Oh, well, thank you. I really appreciate that.
Thank you for being here. It was
thank
nice.
You.
I'm excited to hear the rest of the podcast.
Yes, there were many great times and questions that were had. So. Lots of hidden Easter eggs to go back through.
Yeah.
So absolutely, guys. Again, for the listeners, be sure to join the Discord if you'd like to actively comment, or comment down below if you are on YouTube. Thanks again so much for listening, and we will see you guys in the next one. Hey guys, it's me, Orthodox. I hope you all enjoyed that video. I'd like to take this moment to thank my Patreon supporters. Without you guys, I wouldn't be able to make such amazing content. And a super special thank you to my patron Lucas for becoming a Baby Brunhilde's bestie so thank you so much. I greatly appreciate your support. And if you haven't considered supporting me on Patreon, a little bit goes a long way. We've even got a special membership lounge and VC for supporters of the channel. Thanks so much, everyone. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.